We are back again in this prison called life, where so many of us want to bring kids here, so they can become slaves of this prison as well. Shout out to Andrew Weber. I got a video suggestion from him, and him or her, I don't know. These days, you gotta be careful now. From him, but I think it's a he. From him, shout out Andrew Weber. And now he asked me, is it okay? What do I think? What are my thoughts on bringing kids here? And obviously bringing kids here, hell no, because you have so many people who delude themselves, and they think that they're kids, they're here to do something special, and they think that their children, they're gonna become the next president, and that doesn't happen unless you're born into a family of presidents, if you know what I mean. Because the elite promote their own, You're a peasant. What makes you think you can reach the upper echelons of society, So, bringing kids here, man, it's a no, because the world is going to shit, man. And somebody may say, well, let the kid have his own experience, but the problem is you don't know if the kid wants this or not, We were all brought here against our will, and that's the one thing that we have in common as the anti-natalist community, So many of us, we wish we were never born because this is not worth it, This life is just not worth it. And they say life is a journey, which is true. But if you ask me, life is a journey to death. They didn't finish that sentence, Oh, life is a journey. Yes, to death. Where are you going other than that, So the kids that we bring into this world, there's nothing special about them. This may sound rude and negative and, psychopathic, but it's true. There's nothing special about the kid you're bringing here. He's just gonna be like you, maybe a little bit better than you, or a little bit worse than you, depending on the type of person you are, And this is where we really gotta evaluate if people are fit enough to become parents, Because I believe, first of all, you gotta have your finances in order, and your mental health as a parent has to be in order, Because you have so many parents who project their own traumas onto their kids, Because they had a certain life experience. Now they think that their life experience might turn out to become the child's life experience as well, And that's not the case, So you have children like that. You have parents like that who end up abusing their kids mentally, emotionally, even if they don't mean to, but because they have traumas that they haven't solved, They have traumas that they haven't fixed, So how are you going to raise a kid, a perfectly healthy kid, when your mental state is like that, And your finances definitely have to be in order, because one of the other things that causes trauma in children is poverty, Poverty is traumatic, And many people are poor, in the world we live in. And that's a fact. Many people are poor, So bringing a kid here, knowing that you're poor, that's really selfish, if you ask me. Now, I'm not saying poor people do not have the right to have children. That's their business, I believe every individual has the right to do whatever they want. I do not like to impose my views on other people. I can only speak my mind, And I believe that, poor parents, one child is forgivable, if you ask me. Just have one, If you ask me, that's forgivable. We can forgive you for that, We can forgive you as the anti-nihilist community. One child, stop there, We can forgive you for that, But 2 or more kids, I mean, you're really pushing it, man, Because you can't even take care of yourself. Now, how do you expect to take care of 2 or more kids, into poverty, I mean, I just never understood that. Like, what's the mentality behind that, You're already poor. You're suffering. But you bring in 2 or more kids into this world. I mean, what do you expect them to do, And this happens all the time, in African societies, because I'm in Africa. So I see this all the time, extreme poverty, but they have 3 or more kids. What the hell is that? Calm down, bro. Use protection. But then again, they probably cannot even afford protection, which is more reason why they shouldn't be having kids, But, I mean, you gotta at least afford, protection. But yeah, man, that's what we see. So having kids here only for them to become slaves, I mean, it's unfortunate, And definitely you have those kids where, they grow up to become, they make something of themselves, But now they have the pressure and the responsibility of providing back home, to where they come from, They gotta now take care of their mom, their poor mom or their poor dad or their poor parents. They gotta give back because they've at least made something of themselves, So bringing kids here, man, it's terrible, especially if they're born into poverty, But if they're born into a well-off family, now that's a different case. And that's good, Because I myself, as a kid, if I'm born, at the very least, I expect to be taken care of in every way, But most importantly, financially, because that's very important. The world is expensive, So it's very important, that if you're gonna bring a kid here, at least have your finances in order, so the child can have a better upbringing, so the child does not have to suffer, Because you ask yourself, you see so many children in orphanages, and that's not a good life, You're like, this could have been prevented in so many ways, Children hospitals, children born with disabilities, that's suffering. This could have been prevented, Children born with chronic illnesses, this could have been prevented, That's life. There's no guarantee. It's a life of pain. Anything can happen here. Even if you're born in a well-off family, there's no guarantee that sooner or later down the line, you won't suffer, That's just life. We suffer. One way or another, we each get our turn of punishment, That's just the way life goes. So bringing kids here, man, if you ask me, absolutely selfish. I would prefer that people do not do it at all. But obviously that's impossible. That's being stupid. There's always going to be somebody who prefers to have a kid. And that's okay, But if you're going to do it, at least financially you should be good. And your mental health, your mindset should be in the right state to raise another life, That's all, man. This is DeadMf, and I'm signing out.